Hey y'all, it's Heather and Phil, and we are out here on the back porch. And I don't know, we're not in a blind, and it's the wrong time of day, so who knows what's going to happen. But Heather's got the Z50 and the 200 to 500, and I'm goofing around with the ultralight long-range photography kit, the R6 and the 800 f11. And we're just going to kind of hang around here and see if any birds come up. We've got, I guess, maybe an hour and a half until sunset, and it's overcast, so I'm going to be shooting with some high ISOs with this ridiculously slow f11 lens. And let's see, you've got 750 millimeters equivalent, and I've got 800 millimeters. So let's see what happens. You ready? Think we'll see any birds?
Maybe.
Probably not. We have a mulberry tree that we planted from basically a sapling. Actually, my brother-in-law got it, and it was just like a twig, and he planted it in his yard, and it got to be, 18 inches tall. And then he dug it up, and I planted it in our yard, and it's been there for 2 or 3 years now, and it's probably 8 feet tall, but kind of spindly. And I don't know exactly how far it is from the porch, but the peach tree that's back there is about 45 feet, and it's closer. So I'm going to say it's probably 30 feet, maybe 35 feet away. And so this tiny male ruby-throated hummingbird flew up and landed there. Heather saw it. I didn't see it at all. And anyway, we both got shots of it, and it's microscopically tiny in the frame, but we got it. So we got one, and during that, a tufted titmouse came up and landed on our bird feeder, and my minimum focus distance is 19 point something feet, so I couldn't get it in the shot, and Heather was concentrating on the hummingbird. But anyway, at least something's happening. So there is the ruby-throated hummingbird over in the mulberry tree, a long way from the back porch. I really like this shot that Heather made using the Z50 and the 200 to 500. Here's my shot from basically the exact same distance using the 800 millimeter lens. Heather had 750 millimeters equivalent, and I got lucky that the bird was flashing its red feathers when I got this shot. It's the exact same bird. Now look at this. Here's the same picture, but this time, like Heather had done, I ran it through Topaz Gigapixel AI and doubled the megapixels of the photograph, making it where I could somewhat fill the frame with it. Here is Heather's other picture of the ruby-throated hummingbird, and even though this one is not flashing its red feathers, those feathers almost look purple in this shot. I think of the 3 pictures, this one is my favorite. All right, well, we have a song sparrow nest in the front of our house. There's a dwarf Alberta spruce that's growing just right outside the front door. And the other day I made a photograph, and I used the 24-70 f2.8 at f4, and I made a photograph of one of the nestlings right near the opening where they fly into the tree. So I'll show you that. I used the 70 to 200 f2.8 at f4 to make this photograph, and while this is definitely on a song sparrow nest, I'm not 100% sure this is a song sparrow. It could be a brown-headed cowbird. But we also have been seeing song sparrow. We actually heard it call, and Heather brought up the song sparrow song on her phone and started playing it, and we managed to bring it in and get a couple of shots. Nothing fantastic, but it was cool to get a photograph of it on the Leland cypress while we're out here just doing a lazy day of birding on the back porch. This is an adult song sparrow, and this one I'm 100% sure is a song sparrow. This is my shot. I made a couple of shots while it was in that particular area in the Leland cypress, and here's Heather's shot. She made a couple of shots while the bird was in this area of the Leland cypress, and my area of the Leland cypress, you can't really see the entire bird, so just based on that alone, I like Heather's shots better of this beautiful song sparrow. And it was fun to listen to Heather's phone make the singing sound and then the bird make the singing sound. Now this is Heather's shot of a female house finch, and it's actually right on top of our bird feeder. Now these next 2 shots are really interesting. This is Heather's shot with 750 millimeters equivalent of a robin over in the mulberry tree. And this is my shot taken at basically the exact same time. I've got 800 millimeters equivalent, and I'm from a little bit further back. So that's a nice comparison of the two cameras right there. It's pretty dark. You may not be able to tell it, but it's pretty dark. We got a few shots here on the porch, and then I got bored with being on the porch, and I wandered around and chased a robin for a little bit, and then I found a yard bunny.
Yard bunny.
Here's a video clip of an American robin that's kind of digging and thrashing around in my backyard looking for something to eat. And I really think this 800 f11 is going to be great for video of wildlife. And here is a still image of, I think, probably that same robin. Just a beautiful bird, very, very common. Not a feather in your cap to get a shot of one of those, but I still like to photograph them. And now, this is a really good example of how an 800 millimeter lens, even with stabilization, you need a tripod before you make any video. Look, it's caught a grub, I believe. Now, here is my favorite animal of the neighborhood, the yard bunny. I love making photographs of these. I love the colors in their fur and the shininess of their eye, and it's always great to make a photograph of these. Now, these are at 1/200th of a second. I had some great poses at 1/100th, but they had motion blur. So I've learned that 1/200th is probably the right speed to use as your minimum shutter speed, handheld with an 800 f11 lens. What a cute little bunny eating some grass in the backyard. Also, while I was walking around in the backyard, I pointed the Canon R6 at Heather and made this photograph of her, completely uncropped, holding the 200-500 and the Z50. And now I think we're going to call it a night and go inside and watch a little bit of television, and maybe work on some pictures too, who knows. But we appreciate you tuning in for this kind of just chilling at the house, making some bird photos, and we hope you enjoyed it. Heather with the Nikon, Phil with the Canon, and the crazy, ridiculous 800 f11. Have a great day, and thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Wave, Heather. Bye-bye.